Possible loud audio warning. My earphones did a funny thing and the audio I heard was quieter than it actually was. And the stuff in this video might be too loud and I have no way to fix it. So sorry. Hi, hello and whatever else. As you can probably tell, I mostly play Fortnite Zero build. It's my preferred way of playing the game, but from time to time I like to play a few matches in build mode, usually just for fun. But this time I've decided otherwise. I thought it would be a good idea to play 100 matches of build mode, in ranked, with no real experience. Okay, that might have been a lie, I do know something, like I know how to do 90s, but I don't think those are relevant anymore, so basically no real experience. Okay, so game 1. I'm starting off with bronze 3 rank. Now you might be asking, why is that? Well, I've played one game of ranked before this, let's call it game 0. During game 0 I only had to fight bots and only like 3 players. Why are bots in ranked? I don't know. In short, it didn't feel like a ranked match, so I won't count it. And these stats and winning in ranked, yeah, not possible for me. Some of these early matches also had bots, but there weren't as many, so it's probably fine. Okay, so game 1. I decided to land at Outlaw Oasis, which later became like my drop spot for this whole thing, and after looting up I had the pleasure of eliminating this totally real player, and then a few more in Crime City. Skipping to the end of this game, because nothing interesting really happened. Look at my loadout, there's no chance I lose with this. Okay, I lost. And with that game, I managed to hit Silver 1. I'll go over these early games quickly, because not much interesting stuff happened during them. So in game 2 I decided to land in Pumped Power. Here, after looting up, I had to fight this guy who didn't build much. He tried to run away in a car, but it didn't work out for him in the end. After leaving Pumped Power, I encountered this guy which I had to fight, and during that fight I made some mistakes which in the end led to my death. But hey, I got the Silver 2 rank. Back at Outlaw Oasis for game 3. Here, after showing off my godlike aim, I left with pretty decent loot. I went to Crime City where I met this guy who I welcomed by destroying his shields completely. And to say our goodbyes, I kept pressuring him until he died. When leaving the crime scene, I noticed a witness which had to be taken care of. Luckily I managed to do so, but his dogs were out for vengeance. Afterwards, I decided to continue my crime spree at around Foxy Floodgate, where I ran over this guy and proceeded to shoot him. He didn't make it. Then I spotted a witness, which had to be taken care of, but the witness took care of me. My little crime spree resulted in me getting Silver 3. Decided to visit Kappa Kappa Factory game 4. I didn't think much of staying, so I left quickly with pretty decent items. Entering Utopia City with my totally real 6 kills. Here I was attacked by the Storm Beast who started hunting me. The beast was trying to destroy the building I was using as shelter. That plan didn't work out for it. In the end, the hunter became the hunted. Later, I didn't know what I was thinking or doing, which resulted in my death. Gold 1, by the way. Landing at the sports center near Utopia City game 5. Here I eliminated not 1, not 2, but 3 enemies. Went to Demon's Domain where I succeeded in taking down Daigo. Not much happened till later in the game, where I got myself a mythic Sentinel Pump shotgun, which I proceeded to give away to this guy. I guess you could say that I traded those mythics for Gold 2 rank. Landed Canyon Crossing game 6, left Canyon Crossing, went to the island, got the medallion, and proceeded to die. Wanna know why? Because I didn't build. A lot of these early failures can be blamed on me not building. Yeah, who would have guessed that without building in build mode you're not going to survive? Now check out my only kill in game 7. And here's my death. In game 8, while chasing this guy, I got introduced to gravity. Visiting the sports center again in game 9. Paid a friendly visit to the Overlord Spire, which gave me the exotic burst pistol. Then I proceeded to use that pistol to eliminate this man who had a nice swimming session in the river. Later in this game, I met that guy's twin. I would have survived this if I decided to build. Landing near Crime City Game 10. Went all the way to Shogun's Solitude to take down the Spire. There was one person here, they weren't much of an issue. Not much happened for the majority of this game. Here I noticed the guy who got his car stuck in this box. I proceeded to explode it. They tried escaping, I chased them, and they got shot by someone else. And then that someone else killed me. At least I made it to Gold Free. Heading for Utopia City in Game 11. Got some simple loot and started chasing this guy. He didn't live for much longer. Later, while fighting this guy, my friend sent me a message. It distracted me and led to my death. This is what they sent me. Do with this as you will. Visiting one of those tech labs in Game 12. I quickly looted up and eliminated the guy in the tech lab. Went to Shiny Shafts where I took this guy by surprise and got him real low. He thought he could hide, but in the end that was his mistake. After having some issues with getting off this railing and being shot from the other side of this location, I went after this guy leaving from his previous fight. He did leave, but not as a living soul. Then I met this guy who didn't allow me to leave as a living soul. Visiting Outlaw Oasis again in Game 13. Here I was taken by surprise by a Chun-Li skin. We had a pretty decent fight indoors, and despite coming very close to death, I came out victorious. While farming materials outside of Outlaw Oasis, I spotted someone in a car. I started shooting at them, they came towards me, and we had a quick fight. I won that fight, of course. While heading for Foxy Floodgate, I noticed a car behind me. I started shooting at that car, but it alerted another player, who, in the end, eliminated me. Welcome to Platinum 1. Game 14 ended really fast. I landed, the guy took the weapon, he shot me, we danced a little, and then he killed me. By the way, he didn't win. Game 15 is the first game without Simple Edit. But this doesn't really matter, because this game ended very quickly. Going to Resistance Base in Game 16. I didn't stay there for too long. I went to Shiny Shafts where a guy tried to hide from me. But you know what happened to the last guy who tried to hide here? That's right, they died. I really don't know what I was doing here. Like, there's so many things I could have done way better, but like I could have edited out of here, but I didn't, so I died. Yeah, I died. You, me, gas station. What are we getting? One stolen kill and one death. Going to the Big Bad Wolf's Mansion Game 18. Took this guy by surprise and pressured him until he died. Had multiple encounters with people in this mansion. But in the end I didn't come out of here alive. Guess where I'm going, Game 19? I'll give you a moment. If you guessed Outlaw Oasis, you are totally right. But can you guess where I died? If you said Outlaw Oasis again, you're totally wrong, it was Crime City. Well, actually near Crime City, but who cares. Before Game 20 I went to some practice maps, mostly to boost my confidence. After I landed I had to run for my life because I landed on someone. Luckily I found a legendary chest, which quickly solved the issue. I got to eliminate that guy. But then someone else came. Luckily I escaped. Then after healing up, I eliminated them. Then I heard gunshots from this location near Outlaw Oasis, so I went there. In the end that was my mistake, because the storm cut up and I got eliminated. What's 9 plus 10? 21? You stupid! Yeah, I died to the dogs. This was very easy to avoid. Visiting one of my favorite locations from this chapter in Game 22. And I got to leave from there with some pretty decent items. Spotted this guy sitting in his box just asking to be shot at. I was constantly putting him under pressure, but someone came and stole that kill from me. They tried to escape, but I started chasing them. Then they got into a fight with someone else. I of course interrupted them. They hid in their box, but I continued to pressure them. In the end, I managed to take one of their walls and eliminate them for good. When I tried to leave, someone else showed up. I got some good shots, but in the end I missed my last one and died. Back at Kappa Kappa Factory Game 23, and just like last time, I didn't spend much time here and went to Utopia City. Here I got into a pretty decent build fight. Despite making some mistakes and missing some shots, I won this one. This match ended on a hill where I made so many mistakes it's honestly hard to count. Yeah, I died, who would have guessed. Game 24 started in Outlaw Oasis and it ended in Outlaw Oasis. Now it's time for Game 25. From this point onward, most of these games were recorded during 14 days of summer, which means daily unvotes. Since this was the first day of the event, I got to have some fun with the grapple glove. This is like my favorite mobility item ever. I went to the bridge to take down the spire, but I noticed that the NPCs weren't shooting at me, but at someone else. So I came closer, and yeah, there was someone here. I of course started shooting at them, and in the end, taking them out. And then proceeded to finish off the spire, getting the exotic Sentinel Pump shotgun. After healing up, I went to one of these tech labs, and someone was camping here, of course. Luckily I managed to escape. I don't know what I was thinking when coming back here, I shouldn't have. Because that, in the end, led to my death. On the positive side, I managed to hit Platinum too. Put on the wrong back bling for Game 26, oh well. Scanned the nearby area, found out there was someone at this location, and by now you should know how this ended. Yeah, I killed them. Went to Crime City where I got this pretty nice shot with the Excalibur rifle. And also got a kill by editing this wall. Nice. Then I started to chase this guy. But then they turned into the Storm Beast and I decided to bail. Then the Storm Beast started chasing me, but luckily it focused on someone else. But then I came back to the hill where the Storm Beast lost me, and that was my mistake. I died here, yeah. After landing in Game 27, I got straight to business, got a weapon and instantly killed someone. After looting up, I decided to go to one of those tech labs again. And guess what? Someone was sitting in one of those. Luckily, I managed to kill them, and they didn't even deal any damage to me. Then I decided to go for one of those small spires to boost my hero rank. But someone started shooting me, they came close, and that led to my death. If I were to describe Game 28 in 4 words, it would be very fast and dog. Game 29, something interesting happened. By that, I mean after killing a guy as the Storm Beast, after I'd returned to normal form, I couldn't build, shoot, or do anything, basically walking as a free kill. Game 30 went pretty bad. By that, I mean that I saw the Storm Beast wreck this whole mansion, I tried to run away, but it started chasing me, and when it caught up, I didn't have any mobility items, making it practically impossible to counter. And then I stayed on the zipline trying to shoot the guy. That was stupid. Game 31 went like this. I landed, found a shockwave hammer, didn't read its manual, and died because I tried to third party with it. Game 32 wasn't any better. I landed on the bridge and proceeded to die at the nearby gas station. Game 33 is probably my favorite game so far. I thought this person was trying to land here, so I started shooting at them, but in the end they didn't land here. This allowed me to fully loot this location, and also to steal a loot drop from someone. I saw someone leaving this location near Outlaw Oasis. Of course I started shooting at them and then killed them. This of course brought someone who wanted attention, which in the end led to a pretty lengthy fight. I made some mistakes here and there, but nothing major really. My opponent made worse mistakes. By that I mean they allowed me to heal multiple times. And because of that, in the end, I won this fight. Not much happened in this game until pretty much the end of it. I had this fight straight out from 0 build, and then I got into the top 3. But in the end I panicked a little and died. Oh, also the guy that killed me didn't win. And this match got me into Platinum 3. Game 34 isn't anything worth talking about. It ended pretty fast. The same can be said about Game 35. I got a kill and then I got killed. I don't know what happened, but Game 36 is forever stuck on the first frame. Same goes for Game 37. Don't worry, not much happened in any of those games. Hey look, the issue is gone for Game 38. And of course the first game I fixed the issue is not much interesting. But Game 39 is better. I got to leave Outlaw Oasis with pretty decent items. Oh, and did I mention that the rocket launcher was in rotation? Yeah, because it was. Thanks to the rocket launcher and the base boost, I got to destroy this guy's builds pretty easily, dealing some good damage and killing them. Then I proceeded to disrupt this fight with my rocket launcher, and got not 1, but 2 kills from here. And in the end, I died on the dance floor in Utopia City. The funny rank animation didn't get recorded, but welcome to Diamond 1. Dropped at this unnamed location, where I got pretty decent loot and also instantly got attacked. Decided to destroy this guy's box with the shockwave grenade, and that turned out to be a good move because that left them without any materials. Then I proceeded to deal big damage to them and in the end eliminate them. But that was my only elimination in Game 40, because despite having good items in the end of this game, I proceeded to die. Game 41 started in Outlaw Oasis, and then it ended in Crime City. Got some pretty good items in Game 42. Started shooting at this car passing by, then I went after it. I tried to throw boogie bombs at them, but it failed in the end. So I went and started chasing the driver. I managed to deal some good damage before they boogie bombed me. For some reason they didn't shoot at me, just ran away. Someone shot me when I was entering this tech lab, but they never came close. Went back to Outlaw Oasis, and guess who I found? That's right, that Wookiee team leader from before. But this time, I got to finish the job. And later, when trying to escape from a fight, I died. In Game 43, I dug my own grave. I didn't know someone was in here. Game 44 is stuck on the first frame. And so is Game 45. Game 46 has no audio. I mean, it's better than having only the first frame. But this game is nothing noteworthy. I just ran out of materials and died. Game 47 might not have audio, but it has something going on for it. After getting some basic loot, I got straight to business. And by business, I mean some friendly neighborhood killing. Went to this football field near Outlaw Oasis. Yes, I'm not from a country that calls this a soccer field. And I met a guy here. I scored a goal on him. Or insert any other football joke here, okay? Later, I got into a fight at the train station. It wasn't going so well, but my biggest mistake was me thinking I could take this fight in Storm. With this much HP, it wasn't possible. Landing train station, Game 48. And once I landed, I practically instantly got into a fight. And despite coming very close to the death, I managed to survive this one. Later, I got into a fight at Supernova Academy. This guy was constantly editing this wall while I was just sitting there watching. But after a while they managed to hit me for pretty big damage, so I decided to run away. But later they managed to catch up to me. Luckily I was able to deal some damage to them. They started running, so I started chasing them, but I missed my shot and died. Oh, this hurts, it was so close. Game 49 was a big walking session, so let's skip to the end of it. I took out my minigun for this fight, and of course destroyed every single build I could. And in the end, that got me the kill. And when trying to leave, I got killed. Game 50 went like this. It started at Resistance Base, and it ended at Resistance Base. Going to Shogun Solitude in Game 51. No one besides me went here, so I got to loot this whole location. And that didn't change much because when I left, I practically instantly died. Game 52 was another quick death. And same goes for Game 53. Game 54 wasn't any better. Game 55 was longer, but not better. Game 56 was shorter, but it was better. And by better I mean that I was able to get a kill in this one. Doesn't change the fact that I died a few moments later. I was able to loot the entirety of Outlaw Oasis in Game 57, then I went to Crime City, where I died. Game 58 started, and then it quickly ended. Game 59 is another one of my favorites. After leaving this tech lab near Resistance Base, I spotted footsteps. I started building, the other guy did too, and one thing led to another and we're in a fight. But then I went back into the tech lab, and that was a good idea. Because after we exchanged a bunch of shots, I came out victorious from this one. A few moments later I saw footsteps, so I decided to buy the tracking visor. And it was a good idea, because it allowed me to pinpoint the exact location of this guy in this bush. And despite my horrible aim that almost cost me my life, I killed that guy. After healing up, I quickly left for Lone Wolf's lair. Here I met a stray cat. That cat's name was Meowskulls. Not much happened till later in the game where I got to Outlaw Oasis. Here I got to third party these two. I killed them both, not letting any one of them get a kill. Then, when healing in the passenger seat, someone spotted me, they went towards me, and I made some dumb mistakes and died. But you know what? That doesn't matter. I got into Diamond 2. More suffering! Yay! In Game 60, I got a quick kill and a quick death. Oh, hey look! Pump shotgun! Pretty much instantly I got to use it on someone. But later someone used theirs on me. Lone Wolf Lair Game 62. Some decent action happened inside this mansion. I got some pretty good shots with the outlaw shotgun. And of course, I got a kill! But that was my only kill, because I didn't run into anyone up until late game, where I in the end died! Forgot to record Game 63, sorry. Back on the bridge for Game 64. Did I mention that my aim is horrible? Because this caused me to die here. Game 65 started with a little fight in Outlaw Oasis. More one-sided, but who cares, I got a kill here. Not much happened until I got on this hill near Shiny Shafts, where a guy tried to third party, but I decided to play it safe and run away. That led me to a guy stuck in some aftermath of a battle. I managed to take him by surprise. I didn't allow him to leave at all, by that I mean I killed him. Later, I got into another fight. This one didn't go as smooth as last time, because in the end I died. Oh look, balloons are in rotation for Game 66. That guy tried to shoot me through the window, but actually I shot him through the window, and in the end got a kill. I noticed someone else was at this location, so I decided to do an airstrike on them. Too bad I missed most of my shots. No worries, I still killed them. After leaving Outlaw Oasis, I spotted this banana. I got on a hill and started dealing some good damage to that fruit. You know, I don't really like bananas, so I got rid of this one quickly. Later, I got into a fight with someone who had a medallion. I managed to deal some damage, but in the end it wasn't enough and I died. 4-player 456. Okay, that's actually pretty funny. Game 67, well, it ended. Game 68 started, and it went for a while. And by that I mean that I got into a pretty decent fight at Outlaw Oasis. This person was building boxes and I was trying to push into those boxes. Once they left their box, I started dealing some good damage to them. But this wasn't only one-sided, because they also hit some shots on me. This one went for a while. It came to a point where I ran out of materials. But I wasn't the only one that ran out of materials. Here I got hit pretty hard, twice even, but I hit even harder. Got to Crime City, where I got a chance to third party a fight. Once I knew there was only one guy, I went straight to attacking them. And after a few decent shots, I killed them. Went to Foxy Floodgate, where I found a guy sitting in the tunnels. I took him by surprise, continued to pressure him from other sides, the storm cut up, I got out of there, and I got the kill because the guy got lost in storm. And then when leaving, I got shot in the back. Diamond free. Why? I shouldn't be here, I'm not that good. Game 69 wasn't nice. I mean, it had nice views, but it doesn't have a nice ending. Nothing interesting happened in Game 70, except my death. In Game 71, I got a pretty decent kill at the Resistance base. Then, like always, I proceeded to make some simple mistakes and die. Landed Outlaw Oasis, went to Crime City, had a fight there, escaped from that fight, had another fight near Outlaw Oasis, got a kill, and got killed. In Game 73, I died. How? Quickly! Game 74 was a big walking session. So here's my death. Game 75 went pretty much the same. At least this time I didn't get third party, just died to Hatsune Miku. Game 76 isn't anything special. I wanted to do the 14 Days of Summer quest this game because it was about to run out. But I ran into someone at the Spire and that led to my death. I left Outlaw Oasis with pretty decent items in Game 77. Made it all the way to this gas station where I decided to try and third party. I managed to destroy builds of these two players, but in the end I still died. Game 78 went almost exactly the same. I got to loot the entirety of Outlaw Oasis, and then proceeded to do nothing up until endgame, where I died. Game 79 is where I started to play more aggressive, or at least that's what my notes say. Anyway, someone destroyed my floor, I missed my shot, and then proceeded to die. Got the unstable yoink shotgun in Game 80. When walking up these stairs, I got to test out this shotgun. It's pretty good. But it's not good against someone with a shield. If I wasn't very bad at this game, I would have survived that, probably. In Game 81, I had a shield, but I didn't use it. That was stupid. Foxy Floodgate in Game 82. Got to use the DMR on some player on the other side of this location. Then I got into this fight indoors. I landed some pretty decent hits. In the end, I killed this player, but then someone else came and I died to them. I forgot to record the beginning of Game 83, but I managed to capture my death. Going to Lone Wolf's lair in Game 84. The moment I landed, I managed to grab a quick kill. And then a few moments later, I managed to get another one. But I didn't last much longer after that one. This guy took my wall and killed me. In Game 85, I didn't get to do much. The moment I landed and I opened this chest, the other player took the items and I had to run for my life. And during that running session, I ran into someone and they killed me. Game 86 is better than most of the previous ones. By that, I mean I got pretty decent items at this location, especially a shotgun. Without a shotgun in this location, you're practically dead. A few moments later, I ran into a player. I blocked most of their shots with this ballistic shield and then finished them off with my shotgun. After leaving that mansion, I ran to a guy who was low after a fight, but they had a ballistic shield, so, you know, I didn't hit them for much. I escaped from there and got to heal to full shield. After that, I came back to this house where I tried to take them down again. We both had our shields out, I broke theirs, got some good shots on, but in the end it didn't matter. 5 health, by the way. Game 87 was something. I landed on this roof, someone started chasing me, I thought I picked up this iron, but it was not. I jumped down, got into this window, someone was here, they healed me with the barrel, they started shooting at me, I thought I had those materials, so I started building, didn't build, and died. I just noticed that I called metal iron. Yeah, I'm keeping that in. Hey Lois, I died in Fortnite. That was a horrible Peter Griffin impression, I'm not doing that again. The moment I landed, I instantly got a kill. The guy missed the window. When I got inside the mansion, I managed to hit some shots on this guy, but in the end I panicked and died. The start of game 90 wasn't any good. Mostly because my slow reaction time caused the start to be also the end. Okay, the last 10 games. 10 more games and I'll be free from this hell. Also, I didn't expect it to make it this far. Game 91 started in Outlaw Oasis. I got to loot this whole location all by myself with no interruptions. Even got to loot this tech lab. Then I got into a fight on a hill between Outlaw Oasis and Crime City. I hit my opponent for pretty good damage and killed them. Then I proceeded to die at the entrance gate to Lone Wolf Lair. In game 92, I practically instantly died. In game 93 I got a quick kill at Outlaw Oasis. And then I proceeded to do nothing up until my death. Not much interesting stuff happened in game 94 up until the very end, where I got some hits, but it still wasn't enough, so I died. I'm embarrassed to show anything from game 95, so here's my death. Game 96 kind of ended. At the beginning of game 97 I managed to get a kill, but that was pretty much it, because later, during another fight, I died to a third party. Game 98 was a long driving session, but I had a pretty short fight with this guy. And actually, I won this fight. Then some other guy came, I was slow on reaction, and died. Game 99 is my favorite game out of all 100. There were a bunch of reasons, but the biggest one is the fact that there was a lot of action, especially early in this game. Here I pushed a player until they ran out of materials, and in the end I got to kill them. I saw those two players fighting, so I decided to go and interrupt them. So I slid into the box and got this sick kill. Here I broke into this player's box, dealt some good damage, and in the end, killed them. I was sitting in this tower when I uncrouched by mistake and revealed my location to this player. I made some mistakes like not editing this floor under me to escape, but that guy had an aim issue, so I don't know. And in the end I died. In game 100 I got a kill on this guy by sneaking up on them, and then because of my stupidity and lack of materials I proceeded to die. And there you have it, every single ranked build game I have played. I finished off at Diamond 3, 87%, I'm happy with this rank. Will I go for a higher rank? I don't know, probably I'll try to hit Elite and there, but I won't make a video out of it. And will I make another video like this? Probably not, or at least not in the near future. Playing 100 games like this was pretty fun at first, but later became a little bit repetitive and I didn't like it as much, so yeah. I'm very bad at ending videos, the end.